Hello and welcome to my country garden. This video I've pulled together over a few days because I didn't quite get enough time to do it in one stint, plus something got in the way halfway through, and I'll talk about that in a moment. But predominantly this video is going to talk about the seeds that I have sown this August and that you might consider sowing as well. Because although we're now in August, there's still plenty of time to get some things growing for harvesting later in the year or indeed early next year. So yeah, earlier on this week, unfortunately, we were hit by a storm that had about 60-mile-an-hour winds, and that did do some damage in the garden. I was a bit sick, I have to say, when I saw some of the stuff that had been damaged. So I'll show you that later on in the video as well. But for now, sit back and enjoy what I'm doing in my garden this early August. So I've got a couple of pots of potatoes that I want to harvest. They're both main crops, so maybe a touch early for them, but I could do with some main crop potatoes for doing some cooking indoors, and I also could do with the compost in here because I've got some more seeds to sow, and I'll show you what I'm sowing in a little minute. But first, let's see what I've got in these pots. This one is Picasso, and Picasso is one of my favourite main crops. Really like them. They're white potatoes with a pink tinge around the eyes. Let's have a wee peek. I've got a few pots of these actually, so even although this one's a bit early, I'll leave some of the others. Oh. Golly gosh, right. As you can see, there still is a bit of growth in the top, so probably I could have left them for a bit longer. Well, certainly I could have left them for a bit longer. But needs must. Alright. Oh. So, you can see the classic look of a Picasso potato. So it's white, but you can see the nice pink tinges around the eyes. So I think I've got a fair amount, although they could be bigger as main crops, but I am very happy with what I'm seeing so far. Okay, I think that's me. Okay. There we go. So yeah, some nice sized potatoes here. A couple of little ones. It's fairly heavy actually. I tend not to weigh my potatoes, except for the single seed potato challenge, which I'm doing this year. But no, I think they're very nice, thank you very much. Okay, the next pot is, watch out girls. Ba-dum-ba-dum. Oh my god. Right, this next pot is Manitou. Manitou is a red potato. And this is from my saved seed from last year. This is heavy, but I think probably it's because it's wet. Let's see. Okay, so immediately you can see lovely red potatoes here. Again, these can grow to really, really large sizes if left, but and they are beautiful, roasted and chipped and boiled, you name it. You can do anything with these. I love, love, love Manitou. This one has got a little cross in it, which is weird. Don't know what's happened to that. So I think I've got a few large potatoes in this batch, rather than lots of smaller ones. Let's see. Oh, there's one of the... Actually, there was... this is one of the seed potatoes. It's actually halved. I halved some of the Manitous because they were quite large. This one's a bit damper than the other one, so I've obviously kept on top of the watering a bit better. So not huge numbers in this one, which is a shame, but they are lovely. It's heavy, a heavy basin of potatoes here. So the Manitous only got 2, 4, 6, 7 and this weird one, which I think just got stuck on something inside. So, but they are nice potatoes, and then the Picasso, I got a nice number and a nice weight of potatoes, so yeah, very happy with that. Now what I might do is just earmark some of my Manitous for next year. I'll maybe eat those ones and use these ones for seed. And what I'll do is just let them dry out, harden up, and I will wrap them in newspaper and put them somewhere cool and dark, and then bring them out next year and sow them. So yeah, I think these are going to be some seed potatoes for next year for Manitou. I will try and buy some more as well. They are very sought after because they're brilliant potatoes. I think I've got one more pot of Manitou, perhaps 2 pots of Manitou. It'd be great if it was 2, but one more pot anyway, and then that's them for this year. But I've got plenty more Picasso, and I've got more Charlottes, and I've also got a couple of pots of Caledonian Pearl. So I know it's August, but there's still plenty of things that you can get started in August to grow on through the autumn, and some things even through the winter into the spring. So I've got a little container here with a variety of things that I'm going to sow. I'm going to sow them in trays or cells or whatever, and once they've grown on, I'll transplant them either into their final growing position or into a larger pot to then go into their final growing position. So let me show you the sorts of things that I'm going to be sowing. Okay, I've got this module tray and I'm going to sow a variety of things in here. I'm going to start off with some spring onion. These are White Lisbon, and sort of last chance I think to get them out. It says sow up until July, but I will try sowing some now. And all I'm going to do is drop a few in each of these cells and then once they grow, I will transplant them as a little clump. So probably 5 or so seeds in each of these. And I hope that I get a nice bunch. 3, I think, 3 rows. That will do the job. I'm not so much into spring onions for eating in salads, but I quite like them in stir fries and so on. So that's great. And I'll just top this up with some vermiculite. Okay, I'm just going to pop some vermiculite on top of the cells containing the seeds. Now I am going to sow some spinach. So I'm going to do a single row of spinach here. In the hope that I can transplant these. Just a few, maybe 4 seeds in each cell. The rest actually I might well direct sow. And again, some vermiculite. It's a wee bit breezy. Vermiculite's trying to escape. Spinach. Okay, next I'm going to put in some garlic chives. So again, I'm going to do a row of garlic chives. Now, my previous sowings of garlic chives have never come to much, and I think it's just because I took my eye off the prize when there was so much else growing. So let's see if I can make it. Oh, hold on to these seeds. Let's see if I can be successful in this sowing. And again, I'm just going to put a few in each module, and if I can get a few of these plants to grow over the autumn and winter, that would be fab. Oh, don't blow away, don't blow away. Right, now we're on to some lettuce. There's plenty of lettuce that you can actually be sowing at this time of year. This first one I'm going to put in, I have grown throughout the year already, and it's elf ears oak. And it says here actually you can sow it right up until October. So I have plenty of lettuce on the go, but good old successional sowing is important. So let's get these in. So again, I'm just going to do a full row with a few seeds in each cell. I have much more success growing lettuce this way rather than direct sowing because of the dreaded slugs. I might try some direct sowing though. We'll see. I'll keep you posted on that one. So this is elf ears oak lettuce. And I'm going to put another lettuce in this last one, and this one is lightning butter oak. Again, I've sown this throughout the year, and this one can be sown February to October, so I shall put these in. Ooh, small seeds, small seeds. And quickly, this vermiculite's almost bigger than the seeds, but hopefully they'll be okay. Right. Oh, let's get the right setting. I had already watered the compost, but let's give it another wee water. So I'm actually going to put this into the chicken run behind me and let them germinate in there. It's easier to keep the trays from drying out in the chicken run at the moment because the polytunnel is so hot. So yeah, I'll do that, and then I'll show you what else I'm going to be sowing. Okay, I'm going to put 4 other things into these little plastic cells. The first thing I'm going to put in here is a cabbage. This is an overwintering cabbage. It's called April. And it says here you can sow July, August, plant out September, October, and then next March and April we can get a harvest. So I have not ever tried to grow cabbage over winter, so this will be interesting. Always worth giving it a try. If you are growing April or have grown April cabbage in the past, I'd love to hear any tips and tricks that you might have. But for now, I'm just going to sow some seeds into these modules, cover it with the vermiculite. I'm going to put these into the chicken run to let them germinate, and then we will take it from there. Okay, and I'm going to sow another cabbage in this set of cells, and this is actually a Chinese cabbage called Atsuko. Again, I have never tried it before, but it's suggesting you sow June to August. Obviously, it's one of the cabbages that do not like hot weather. So we'll pop this in and we'll see how we go. Harvest August to October, so a fairly quick turnaround. It's not like this sort of cabbage. It's going to give me a crop much earlier, assuming I can keep the slugs off it, which is always the issue with this sort of thing for me. So let's just, there's not too many in this little packet, so I'm just going to sow them all. I've actually got labels on the on the other side. I've just written some. So a little bit of light water, and that's that done. And then we have got this little tray, and I'm going to put more lettuce into this one. So this time we're going to have a Marvel of Four Seasons, a classic winter lettuce, and also Grenoble Rouge, which is one that I have grown during the year, but also is a good winter lettuce. So Marvel of Four Seasons, it's really good up here in Scotland, even into the tail end of the year. Just successionally sowing because I've still got lettuce on the go. There. Plenty left for maybe another sowing later in the year. And finally, Grenoble Rouge. This is a French alpine lettuce from Grenoble, known as a great overwintering variety, but also grows well throughout the summer. And I have grown this throughout the year, this year. And very tasty it is too. And a little water, and these will go into the chicken run as well. I have got a couple of pots of not good. I've got a couple of pots of dwarf French beans here, and I'm going to harvest some just now. Now this one here is a variety called Pongo, and what I want to do is take a harvest. I've not harvested any of these yet. I'm going to take a little harvest, but I'm going to make sure that I have beans left to use as seed for next year. And then this one over here is called Safari, I believe. Yes, again, green French beans. I've got plenty of seeds of these ones though. So I'll get these harvested now. I'll keep the smaller ones for a little bit longer, but Pongos give you nice long beans. And they are very tasty. Okay, that's the Pongo. Let's get the Safari now. These are overall shorter beans than the Pongo, but nice nevertheless. So there we go, Pongo, Safari. So Storm Floris gave us a visit yesterday, and I'm now just checking out the garden. So the sunflowers are at a jaunty angle, but the most gutting thing so far that I've noticed is my sweet corn. Look at it all, it's just all flattened. I am just gutted. It's at a jaunty angle there. I don't even know whether I'll get it standing back up again. Here's one here. Oh God, honestly. Maybe I could stake each individual plant. That's going to take a while. But I'll need to give it a shot. My lovely big corns. I could cry. And look, the three sisters doing what it should do, and that had a bean growing up it. God, so annoying. I thought I was going to get corn this year. And this is a cracking big sunflower. I'm hoping I can right it. Look at all the heads. The polytunnel door blew off. I sort of half attached it last night. But it's only half attached. And the stuff inside, look at my, oh God. This is just, because of all the wind, this cucumber has just completely dried. I don't even know whether maybe it's become broken. And it's been ripped off the cane. And a couple of tomatoes. This sun gold was out the door. And my chilies were on the floor. The actual pots were on the floor. I'll need to try and do something with that. Let's look further up the garden. Squashes are looking okay. I'm hoping they're undamaged. They were hugging the ground though. I wasn't here. I was away in Edinburgh. Those cabbages are a bit windswept and interesting in there. There's one of my Turk's turbans. There's a bigger one. Hope they're all still attached because they're not ready to be harvested yet. There's another one. Right. Dare I go further up? I did go up last night and right the swing seat, it had fallen over onto the two beds behind it. These were all finished anyway, these peas. Obviously I came up to check the chickens. Hi girls. Hey wee ones. Hello, hello. Oh, hungry critters over there. Hello, Wilma. Hi. You speaking? Oh, right. So, branches. Down. The sweet peas have had it, I think. More branches. More oh. Oh, another sunflower casualty. Oh, completely bent over, and this one. Right, I've done what I can. I've put in bamboo canes and I've tied up the corn as best as I can. It looks horrendous. It was so uniform and lovely and tall and straight, and it looked fantastic. One of the nicer beds in this garden, and for it all to be flattened like that, it's just so frustrating. And there's actually corn coming. Let's see if I can see some. Bum bum bum. Certainly over there. Can you see there? There's some corn coming. Now, I'm not saying that even if it does survive, I'll get much corn, because we're at the beginning of August and there's still not many ears showing. Look, there's a wee a teeny tiny bit. But, you know, I would have liked to have given it a shot. Anyway, here we have it. A very untidy, but at least upright bunch of corn. While I'm here, here's a small crown prince. Whoops. And there are other squashes. Here's a larger crown prince, actually. I've been dodging this as I've been doing the sweet corn. You see, that's quite a nice size already and starting to change colour. got this big sunflower back up. Oh, there's a bee on it already. Nice. So here's hoping it'll survive for a bit longer anyway. So yeah, it's not as bad as it was. I'm not saying it survived much in the way of wind, because I could only get the bamboo canes in so far because the ground's quite hard. But it's better than it was. God, Mother Nature can be such a pain in the ass. Let's see what else there is to fix. I tried to fix the door in the polytunnel a little bit, and I sorted stuff out in there and watered it. Out here, things like the poppy heads blew off, but well, they were coming off anyway. I'll put them somewhere to dry. Plenty of seeds there. The raspberries stayed pretty tall. Some of my flowers, like the cosmos, is all flippity floppity. Let's see if I can do something with that. The oca is all blown in one direction, but it's still in the ground. Never grown this before, so I'll be interested to see what the harvest's like. There isn't anything tall in here to get got. Oh, hang on. Cancel that. I think one of the Brussels sprouts might have gone. Or is this just... I don't know. I need to take this off and see. I've got lots of lovely fennel over here, and it's suffered a bit. I'm just letting it go to seed. And you can see some of that has flopped over. But it's amazing the insect life. Here's a little hoverfly in there. The insect life you get on this when it's flowering. My lettuces here have survived, I think, because they were well watered and a little bit protected from the winds. I should really move this gazebo. It's been out here too long. Oh, it moved. The hanging baskets just lost all their moisture, not surprisingly. Oh, this nice wee sunflower here. You're needing support, aren't you? Ah, right, okay. I think that's me for now. Time for some breakfast. Well, Mother Nature can be so good to you at times. We've had a fantastic start to the year, the growing season. We had really nice weather and things came on really quickly. But then Mother Nature can also just kick you up the backside just when you think things are going well, and yeah, damage some of your precious crops or some of the things in your garden. So it can be, you know, Mother Nature can be great, but Mother Nature also can be a rat bag. So it's fortunate that nothing of any great value was damaged. In particular, the chickens and the quail were all unscathed, and the house was unscathed. So it wasn't as bad as it might have been. Did any of you guys get hit with the storms this week? I hope you, if you were, you didn't get too much damage. But I'd love to hear what your experiences were. But for now, I'm going to call a halt. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give me a thumbs up, and I will talk to you again very, very soon. Bye bye for now.